Hello ladies and gentlemen watching this video, welcome to Talking About Stuff with Dan. Today's subject is on Sega and Sonic Team and what they should learn from Sonic Forces. So if you want to see my review of Sonic Forces, I wrote a review on my Facebook page of Danny Benes. But the short version is, well, let me go back. The Sonic Forces, as of this recording, was released yesterday, November 7th, 2017, in North America and in some other places. I think it comes out in Japan tomorrow, like I said, as of this recording. But anyway, so basically, the short version is that the game wasn't as good as I was hoping. Just about everything around the gameplay was really good. The gameplay itself was okay at best. That's the short version of it, and it was just disappointing. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good either. So basically, and I went in with an open mind. I didn't go in ready to overly defend it, even if it was going to be bad or something. And I don't know how to describe it, but basically, I only seen like one or two reviews, and both of them were mixed. Like one was a little lower and one was a little higher. So I went in with a completely open mind, and the game just didn't do as well for me, and I know it didn't do as well for a lot of other people. Even Haydox, who he normally defends Sonic games, he's usually got a pretty open mind about reviewing games. He said it was painfully average. So I can't imagine what some of the other YouTubers are going to say about it, because I know they usually like to make mountains out of molehills, so the problems that are in the game they're gonna make a big deal out of, or an even bigger deal. So, and what makes me kind of afraid about this is I'm afraid that Sega is gonna listen to them and think, well, we just can't make any more good 3D Sonic games, because this was their chance to prove that they could, and they blew it. But I'm afraid they may take it as we can't make them anymore, so I guess we'll just stick to 2D stuff. Which, I mean, ironically, the Sonic Forces was like 65% side-scrolling, which it needed to be a 3D Sonic game, because it was a 3D Sonic game. But pretty much, I'm afraid they may listen to the people who says it's bad and they shouldn't do 3D anymore or something, when really that's not the case. What they should learn from Sonic Forces is not to always pander to nostalgia, which I know Mario games have been doing for the past few years until Super Mario Odyssey came out, which I really love Super Mario Odyssey. They shouldn't just listen to the people who want the nostalgia pandering. They shouldn't go with the boost formula anymore. I know people were begging for that, but those same people said that they were tired of it by the time they showed that they were doing that. And they already learned not to, or it seems like they already learned not to just release a game yearly, or release a game that's only spend a few months on the game or something, or at most a year. Because with Sonic Forces, apparently it was in development since after Sonic Lost World, but it didn't feel that way. It's not glitchy or anything. I never ran into any kind of glitches. I'm not saying they're not there. I'm just saying I never ran into any glitches on there, if there are any. And but the game just wasn't as good. So they learned in some ways from some of their mistakes, but they didn't learn all of them. They should learn that they really need to make a good 3D Sonic game. I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm not saying they should stop making 2D Sonic games after the success of Sonic Mania. But they should, whenever they do make 3D Sonic games, they should really consider making them similar to Sonic Adventure. I know they tried that before with Sonic 06, but the only problem there was they rushed it. And I know the whole bestiality thing, even though that hardly lasted at all. I know that they also need to improve on that. Like, basically, Sonic 06 could have been the best Sonic game ever, or one of the best ever, if they didn't rush it and if they improved the story a little more. But since that didn't happen, it ended up becoming quote-unquote one of the worst games of all time, even though I still think it's like okay. But if you know me, if you've been on this channel before, you know I'm a big Sonic fan, and in fact the previous Talking About Stuff with Dan video was on the subject of Sonic, just on a different Sonic thing. But Sega and Sonic Team should really learn that they need to listen to whenever they make a 3D Sonic game, they need to listen, since they're, with Sonic Mania, they were listening to the classic fans. So, for the classic Genesis 2D side-scrolling Sonic games, fans, well, with 3D Sonic games, they need to listen more to people who like 3D Sonic games. Like, I know they kind of did with Boost Formula, but obviously they shouldn't listen to them anymore because, well, not as much anyway, because they wanted it back, and when it came back, they didn't want it. It's a mess. But like, they need to make a good 3D Sonic game that's open. They need to get away from the Boost Formula. They need to have no more Boost Formula Sonic. Because it's not I sort of like it, but I really want something like Sonic Adventure again, and that's what a lot of people have been wanting. Something like Sonic Adventure again. They just need to improve upon the problems. They've been avoiding that though, and I understand something like Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces celebrating the 25th anniversary of Sonic, even though it's 2017, which means it's its 26th anniversary now. I understand that the reason they were doing nostalgia stuff because they were, they were celebrating that, but it's just, they need to do something different now. They don't need to just pander to nostalgia. They need to make a good 3D Sonic game again, and make it something like Sonic Adventure. They need to listen to those fans, because I feel like if Sonic Forces was more like Sonic Adventure, they would have succeeded. It still would have pandered to nostalgia, don't get me wrong, but they don't need to make a Sonic Adventure 3. They need to make an open 3D Sonic game where it's similar to Sonic Adventure, but still original, and as they said, they wanted to move the series forward, which they kind of went back with Sonic Forces. Basically, Sega and Sonic Team, if for some reason you're watching this video somehow, just make something similar to Sonic Adventure. That's what you need to kind of save yourself. I know that there's YouTubers that have been saying the first two weren't as good, but don't listen to them because they make mountains out of molehills, and you need to please the fans, the actual fans, the ones who will give any Sonic game a chance. I gave a chance for Sonic Forces, and it didn't do as well, but I've also given chances with other Sonic games, and I like some of them too. Or I like, basically, just, yeah, that's what Sega and Sonic Team needs to learn. I hope I made this clear enough, because I seem to struggle with doing stuff off script, or unscripted. So anyway, if you all like this video, go ahead and like it. If you want to subscribe to see more, or any of my videos on this channel in general, go ahead and subscribe, and all that stuff. And again, I still don't know how to end these, but thanks for watching, and have a good day.